recording for YouTube, and ta-da! Facebook Live.
Oh shit! See, I don't think I've ever done Facebook Live before.
Oh, you're doing it.
Oh well, see,
you're doing it. Just take a deep breath and relax.
I think I got it. I think I got it together.
Think so.
Yeah, I think it's like being live everywhere else, right?
Yes.
Is that the point?
Yeah, pretty much.
I got this then. I don't want to brag. I was in television production when I was in college, but it's not.
I don't want to brag.
I understand live feed.
I think one of the best parts of watching a live feed is the viewer count. And
if people are actually giving a shit.
Right. Right now, no one is giving a shit, which is good.
Well, I don't. Spoiler alert! I don't see that changing, my friend.
Which is okay, but see how it goes up real quick, and it'll jump up, and then it'll go down. What that is people having to open it to close it on Facebook. So that's how they hook you in. So it's really just a register of whether or not people stick around, and that's we're just watching people go.
It's rating
nope.
shares.
Nope. Yeah, pretty much.
It's just the first half. It's the first 10 minutes of the next program.
Yeah.
And then you get the 3.5.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Again, not a big deal. No, about TV production. I'm not gonna get into it. It's not really about me anymore. That's long ago.
Well, tell us about long ago, Matt Moseley. Tell us about long ago in a galaxy far away. For those who don't know you, we can give a little setting for our connoisseurs. We are in an undisclosed location at what I have begun referring to as Pensacola's secret open mic.
Yeah, we broadcast it that way. It's really confusing.
Yeah, which I don't think I saw and shared the post today, which is my bad. So I'll have to get on there.
I kind of cheated, but it's all right.
Share that. Well, I'm glad to know I can start catching you cheating on shit. Thanks for disclosing your.
No. I ran out of time. And I wanted to get here and stuff, so I didn't crank. So basically, I kind of rehashed one, which is fucking blasphemous, but it's also a really good one about Joe Pesci's birthday tomorrow. So
Joe Pesci's birthday's tomorrow?
Yep.
That's beautiful.
I know. So I wrote a post a couple years back about his birthday because it fell like on that day or before that or after that day or whatever, and I just was like, fuck it, I guess I'll just use that one again because it's reasonable and fair, and it's great.
Hell yeah.
Big Pesci fan, so.
Dude, who isn't? I was thinking one of my favorite Joe Pesci's is The Graduate. With, not The Graduate. What am I thinking of? Harvard.
With honors.
Yeah, with honors.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm glad you knew what I was
started the
talking
post
about.
out with, boy, oh boy. It is, he should have been nominated for everything.
Yes, he should have. And so well written.
It's so well written.
Yeah.
And Brendan Fraser should have got some attention.
He should have.
Especially in that because he's moving it over. But it's just that weird early 90s kind of like, it's just all the movies felt that way, I guess. To the consumer, so I didn't care. So he's just like, oh, it's the guy from Raging Bull and Goodfellas. Oh, he's a hobo? I don't care.
Right.
The guy from School Ties and a hobo. The Encino Man's in the snow. I don't give a shit. And then no one gave a fuck. But it's so fucking strong. Gordon Vidal's in it. He's one of the goddamn professors.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he's the constitutional professor.
Yes.
That's
that he
fucking
goes clout. For fuck's sake, but no one gives a shit about With Honors. It's one of the best films he's ever in. It's far better than most things. I love it to death. And, so.
And spoiler alert, when he runs, when he stops the van and runs off.
Yeah.
And shades of gray, blue sky, Louis Armstrong singing in the background. Fucking tearjerkers, man.
It's brutal.
Back when Madonna was sexy.
I'll tell you this.
I don't know how that ties in there.
No, I was.
That's what age 92, that was. 93.
No, there's a whole, and actually I hold on to a little bit of it because there's this whole thing because he's a hobo and he's like you want to know what my best days, all my memories, Harvard, because he keeps calling him Harvard, and he's like he pulls out a little sack and it just rocks.
Yeah,
because he wakes up and he's like that was a great day, I slept on there. I'll pick up fucking rocks in some kind of weird just resonating like this because it's been here forever,
right? And
so now it's this thing, and I was talking to my wife. I called my wife, and I used to call my girl. So I miss me saying that, but now it's just creepy. I do it. I have a stone from when I was a kid, like this rock. It's just one of those like weird, like because my my grandmother ran like the shop in Picayune, still there. Shout out to the Crystal Palace on Picayune, Mississippi. And so like there was like random rock kind of stone things that were just kind of polished and stuff. It's more of an upgraded like fucking buy fancy shit, you know. But there were all these fancy, you know, just kind of geological things. And there was like this egg that I loved, and there was this little stand it would sit on, and it's a perfect place to put your thumb.
Nice.
And so I'm sitting there, and I pulled it out of like you know, an old shoebox or something, and I was just fiddling with it because I have crazy anxiety. I'm always fidgeting. I'm always just that's you know, all the medication. So this layout. So I was like fucking just doing this like crazy, and she's like, that's like it's a worry rock. You realize it's a worry rock? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she's like, no, that's what that is. It's a
thing.
And I'm like, oh fuck, so that's the fidget spinner, bitches. That's what that is.
Right. Look, I got my version of that. You got
I saw. Yeah, you got the fucking
ba-ding balls.
Yeah,
those are stone. Ba-ding, ba-ding.
Yeah. We have there was we have some smaller ones. There was, you know, one of those shops in the old mall there. They'd sell them, but they were like, they had the little ringy belly kind of crap.
Yep.
Same,
I've got some of those.
Yeah, same. That's cool, man. There's something about that though, because it's solid. It's a tangible thing. I dig the shit out of that, man.
I love them.
It's soothing, right?
It is. Sorry, I wanted to get that out of your way. That cable was bugging me.
Right.
My OCD drives me nuts. I saw your hand hit it, and I was like, "Oh, I'm a horrible. I'm a horrible studio engineer in my car."
You should see my truck. Just Enya tapes and Jimmy Buffett tapes. Some Ray Stevens. We've gone over it.
It's healthy.
Nah, it's all right, man. But yeah, no, it is. There's something about that. But I didn't realize that she pointed that shit out, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude! I've been doing that forever." And that movie, when I saw the movie, and I'm like 13 or 12. Fuck no, 92. It was on Cinemax by 94, 95. So yeah, I'm like 11. Yeah, and it was just that the compelling nature of a story about that guy. You know, it was before I got into Goodfellas, which is crazy, because then you just have super respect after. Because I was too young for Goodfellas, only 5 when Goodfellas comes out. So,
and then you're just like, oh shit!
And then he's the top motherfucking dog. Like he's Pesci.
Before
and then,
Get Your Shine Box was even remote.
God
there
damn
was
it.
Spider.
Oh, it's like, whoa! What?
I'm shooting Spider.
I'm a good shot. What? It's like, are you fucking? It's fucking Tommy, but he's chaos. It's such a brilliant thing. But I actually talk about in the post. I talk about that. You know, he sang songs in the 50s.
Did he?
Yeah, he released an entire album of like hits, like covers from like the late 50s and early 60s, and it was called "Little Joey Sure Can Sing." Swear to Christ,
Little Joey sure can sing.
Here's the other amazing fucking stat that you remember Billy Bats. Everyone remembers Billy Bats. Get the Shine Box.
Yeah.
Billy Bats. I can't remember his name now, directly what his actual name is, but they both met as actors, struggling, you know, just actors and performers on the nightclub scene, and they formed a fucking Martin and Lewis kind of fucking comedy duo called Pesci and Vincent. His name's Vincent something. It was Vincent and Pesci, and they basically toured around doing comedy bits like that.
Hilarious.
And so when they actually they do a movie. Basically, they finally get their one break in Hollywood, and it's like this detective movie.
Yeah.
And it doesn't go anywhere. It's terrible. No one likes it. And then so Pesci's broke, and he moves back to fucking, you know, Jersey, and he's living above an Italian restaurant that he works in as a waiter. And Scorsese and De Niro see this movie after Godfather comes out, and they see this random thing, and they see him in it, and they're like, "You're the shit, man. We need you for Raging Bull." And so they call him while he's a working waiter actor. He's not even an actor. He's like he's living above the. It's like it's the American story. It's the dream.
Yeah, starving actor.
And so they basically get him, and he becomes Jake LaMotta, or not Jake LaMotta, the brother. And then he gets that nomination for the Academy Award, and then they go into Goodfellas, and then through Goodfellas, he's like, "I know the perfect guy to play Bats, my old buddy Vincent." And so Vincent comes in to play. That's the entire structure of that shit. Like, without those... And it's all just fucking... It's this shit, dude. Isn't that crazy?
That's awesome.
It's fucking crazy. And then I fell in love with him there, and then I was such a Carlin guy, and Carlin... and it was like one of the first, like, atheistic things when I was a kid, because you had to be Jesus, because you're here. But, like... Carlin has a whole thing where he talks about in You Were All the Z's in '98, which is that first real hard Carlin old man one, where he's just brittle and he's just like...
We swam in raw sewage, uphill both ways.
Yeah, and it's just the best. And that's the first one I was really aware of as the original material that had already produced. And so he references that he doesn't believe in God. He doesn't worship the he worships the sun, but he doesn't pray to the sun.
I know.
He prays to Pesci because Joe Pesci seems like he can get something done. And I remember hearing that, and I'm like,
I wouldn't want to impose on our relationship.
Yeah.
So I pray.
I pray to Joe Pesci.
And then he tells a story about the dog.
Yes. It's so goddamn good, man. Like, and I was just like, that's it. He's an end all be all. Oh. And then as I get older, and they also say that too. They say that there's like the comic culture and like the rap culture. There's like two different. It's like Beatles. You know that Tarantino. There's an edited scene out of Pulp Fiction about where Tarantino has Travolta's character Vinny talk about how there's two or Uma Thurman talks about it. There's two people, Elvis people and Beatle people. And there's a kind of a theory in the comic and then rap world where rappers love Scarface and comedians love Goodfellas, but it's the same kind of just gangster bullshit. Just that there's something about
who's the hero,
right? And it's this anti-hero structure of these guys that you're just like, that's my guy. So it's like there's always this rap connotation to the Scarface. That's why Scarface is everyone's Scarface. You don't see a lot of Tommy Vercetti, shirts. You don't see all that stuff.
No.
I'll tell you right now, if I ever win the goddamn lottery, my friend, you haven't talked once, I'll keep talking. If I win the fucking lottery, or just make enough money, I have two dreams. Okay, one, I know now I'm married and I'm supposed to be like concerned about everything else, but we'll take care of that. There's plenty of money for that later. Two things. One, I just need to make enough money so that I can pay someone to drive me around always. That's it. That's number one. Just chauffeur. It's not even that drastic. That's pretty cheap. I could probably pull that off.
I will chauffeur you everywhere I'm going.
We're friends. I wouldn't want to impose on our friendship. The second is I want the entire wardrobe from Goodfellas. Every single outfit from every character in my size. Even the ladies. I don't care. I just want all of the stuff. And depending on how I feel, because there's not a cooler shot in the history of cinema to me than when they show, after all the lead in, and they show fucking Henry Hill against that fucking car at Idlewild Airport in '63 with that sharkskin suit and it just pans up, and then even fucking Tommy looks slick. Tommy's got the little fucking shit. It's the lines, and even though he's plumper,
they're good fellas.
Oh my god, I want all those clothes, all those clothes. And I've been trying my damnedest to not specify that every time I watch it. But I do. Yeah. I constantly go, I want that shirt. I want that shirt. I want the dresses that Karen doesn't get because she's scared that he's going to kill her.
It always surprises me how quickly that movie becomes Blow. And I always forget. I'm surprised every time I watch it.
Yeah. And that's why Blow works a lot. Though it's something about that one's more raw. I don't know. It's like there's a polished nature to Goodfellas. And that's not polished. It's just like it's that
that tempo change.
Yeah, and Scorsese is so dedicated to the structure of the music. Mm-hmm. He always wants the soundtrack to follow just as directly. Like, you look, Bring Out the Dead. Bring Out the Dead's all those Stone songs. Yeah. And Nicolas Cage is brilliant, and fucking Vin Rames is just, that shit's top notch too. It's all those kind of things. But like Blow is this more of like an independent nature to it's like independent Goodfellas. Like it feels like this or independent Scarface, except he's doing weed, so it's not like crazy until the coke.
Yeah.
And then it gets crazy. But also you got Ray Liotta in one of the best goddamn scenes. Oh, Ray Liotta's the man. He's so good. Oh, I love Ray Liotta. Anyway, so yeah, I'm from Slidell, Louisiana. Is that the question you asked me 15 minutes ago?
No.
More about myself? I don't know.
It was about 17 minutes ago.
Okay,
but you were
right.
Close.
I've been getting better about time.
Good.
I'm trying, yeah.
You know,
it's only been 7 years. You figure I should be able to time myself if I talk long enough.
Being from Louisiana, are you pissed at Tom Segura too? Have you heard about this?
Yes.
How dumb is that? Like, how can you be mad at Tom Segura and not the president when he makes a joke about how dumb building walls is?
But here's the trouble. A lot of I will say this just to clarify the thing. I was born in Slidell, Louisiana. I'm parish-based. I'm parish-born, which I have respect for. Love crawfish. Everyone can go fuck themselves. They're wrong. We had a big discussion about that.
So, Tangent, do you agree or disagree? There's no such thing as all you can eat crawfish. It's only all you can peel.
Yeah,
I'll take that as agreement.
Pretty much. I mean, it's the same kind of way where I get tired chewing. I'm just like, you know what? I'm good.
Exactly.
No, it's just about. But it's you have to go from fucking. They talk about that, you know, farm to table bullshit.
Yeah.
That's the point of it. It's the same as going fishing, but it's, you know, it's mud. You know, they're not.
I love it.
Oh, I love it so much.
I'm right there with you.
It's just it's perfect, and I have a long respect for it. I haven't done it forever, but I'm also part time. I was part time there, and all the shifts happened to family and all that, and so I live there and then I live here. So I am Louisiana and Pensacola, and I just pretend, depending on who I'm talking to believe in whatever it is. The Louisiana, the Cajun, yeah, that's it's. What's funny is you're supposed to take a joke, and the frustration is hilarious because the whole idea is bullshit and taking a joke. Like everyone I know, but at the same time, I know that the majority of all those people in that area in Pickey, Mississippi, and that's all state line right there, in Louisiana, Mississippi. All those people definitely voted for Trump. So it's a liberal New York, LA, blah 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 blah, questioning and attacking our culture, and then saying that we can't stand up and argue for it. And at the same time, they root and we all support the suppression of everyone else's culture that is different than theirs. So it's this kind of, come on, I know, don't be a dick, I'm waiting for the swamp people to start putting in another comic, getting some kind of Cajun comic to show up and
shoot them,
and just do it all different.
Shoot them.
I
love those dudes. They could not stand up and do comedy though, but they can kill some alligators.
No,
they're awesome at that.
That's what's so crazy. It's I was born there, and I'm part of it in some regard. But all those people, all of my kin, are real men. They're real men that do things, and I'm just I'm not a man, but I'm not a man. I'm not you know what I mean? I'm not getting on the, but all of them go offshore because again, the offshore community, it's the same as you're a roughneck. You know, a lot of that community is based on self-reliance and structure, which is why again they fuck the government. Don't involve yourself. I'm making my own. Why are you bothering me? And why are you charging me money to exist? And so anyone that bucks the idea of that all of a sudden becomes, oh, well, they're clearly making more sense, even though they're making no sense, because I'm not concerned about the rest of the community other than from here to there. I need to cover this acre of land. And you just build enough people around that, and it turns into that kind of same shit. All those people are incredible human beings. They are so strong and resilient. And Katrina alone, which ravaged, New Orleans, of course, but Slidell and even Pickey and Nicholson, all those areas, where my dad's home, where I used to go, we lost all kinds of trees, everything went crazy, and there's a coast that's still busted. You go back a couple years later, you can still all see the devastation of it.
Yeah, it takes decades to recover.
And so, there's always that kind of thing where you hear people, survive from, tornadoes or something in the Midwest. And it's, oh, we're in Tornado Alley, we're going to rebuild. And everyone's like, you're an idiot. And it's not what it is. It's a self-reliance. This is all I know, and this is what I want to know. And this is what my dad did, and their dad, and so forth and so on. And it's a pride thing. And it's not so much stupid pride. It's not fault. It's not some kind of ignorance. And everyone assumes it's an ignorance. It's just more of a cultural trust in themselves. And so politically, to a socialistic nature, which is why Obama is such a fucking villain and how Hillary was Killary, which is always hilarious. So, you just have that whole structure of shit down there. But they are some of, if not the strongest people I've ever met in my life. And I have nothing but the crazy respect. It's talking in front of strangers about your dick is real easy. Actually, making a life for yourself and being self-reliant on what you're doing because you did it that's real work. That's actually scary. This is nothing.
Right.
So
making something.
Telling jokes. Fuck.
Yeah, that's not hard at all.
It's so easy. You can even not even tell a joke, and that's a joke. That's bullshit. You go out on a goddamn rig. You go offshore. Fuck, man. My pop did that, and my grandfather was that's the thing. I just got this weird amalgamation of two different Creole / Mississippi bloodlines.
That's good though.
And it's I guess, but it's not. Well, I'm not putting together fucking anything. I'm not doing a goddamn thing physically that I should be.
You say that, but other people have rebuttals to that. But let's talk about the community thing, because there are a couple of labels that you can put on it, on what it is that tight-knit backwoods communities, self-reliant communities fall under, and two that come to mind are tribalism and communalism, community, and family. Now, a couple of those come to you through some pretty traditional Southern United States archetypes. You get religion and family and community. Those things kind of fall hand in hand. But people forget that those things are rooted on this natural instinct of ours to keep like away from other. And so there's this built-in tribalism that can get real defensive. I think tribalism becomes more defensive than community does somehow.
Yes.
Community is just a tamer word for this animalistic thing that we do when it comes to protecting our kin.
It's essentially where laws come into play.
That's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
Because a lot of it is, all right, you killed that guy. There was if you
justice. Like, how do you execute justice?
You owe me a goat. Like,
right.
And that's literally like there's this and I was always fascinated by that shit, Discovery Channel stuff, or just any kind of like, oh, we're going into the woods of Borneo or whatever, and we fucking a tribe untouched by all things,
Yeah.
And they film these guys. There's like the Mech. The Mech is one of the first ones that was really, really fucking fascinating to me, and it was I don't remember, it was like BBC America, some random shit, fucking channel, but it was like Mark and Ollie. There was these two guys that it just ingrained themselves with the Mech. The Mech allowed them to do it. I don't know what the stipend was, but they allowed them to film and interact for the first time in some regard. And they lived with them. Like, they didn't fuck around. They weren't like, all right, we'll go back to our hotel. We'll be back. It wasn't Planet Earth shit. It was like...
None of that Bear Grylls crap.
It was like, we're with the Mech,
and
you gotta earn your way.
They were less Stroud level.
Yeah, you gotta earn your way. And so... There was some point, and there's this amazing, oh my god, it's so good. There's this point where the tribes themselves connect with another tribe across a river. They build a bridge together. Like, the most goddamn symbolic idea of cultures meeting each other, and it's like they built they basically had to come to terms and they because they needed this bridge for each other, and so they built this bridge. At some point, there's a war. They all use arrows, which also levels down. As soon as guns come into play, we're all fucking fucked. So, but once you do the hand-to-hand combat and this kind of projectile level of just physical, actual fighting,
hand-to-hand.
It's totally different, and they only had arrows and fucking rocks and shit. So they basically, someone was killed in a battle, and wrongfully so. Like, they was like, he didn't need to, you killed him, and so basically they had like the elders meet and discuss it, and it's like, all right, well, his life is worth this many fucking animals, and this, like, you have to give a dowry in a sense for the reciprocation. It's instinctual. That's primal, and the way you watch them do it, they're upset and they're mad, but they don't take vengeance, and it's because they're adjusting. There's still a rational level to understanding what's happening, and I think that the more confident in Bush America alone is a bad problem, but as the human creature just kind of becomes more and more socially adjust, they won all the mentalities that can start arising come out. So then your sociopaths, your psychopaths, all that starts breaking up, and they're like, oh, I can control these people. I can use these people as an army. I can use these people as a weapon, and I can then have what I want without them knowing that they're not even fucking fighting for what they want. And then boom, 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 and then we have President Orange Guy. Anyway,
President Orange Guy.
Whatever. But it's a fascinating fucking thing to watch them just kind of deal with that, and it's the same idea. It's just someone died. Okay, well then, eye for an eye. It's like no, because then we're the same.
Yeah.
So we're not going to do that. But you have to pay some debt. We're not going to put you in jail because they're all bamboo. So, I don't know. Which is hard to break through, from what I understand.
Well, the idea of this tribal council seemed...
Jeff Probst was there, which is weird. I thought it was odd because CBS had to fly him in.
They're good at that.
They got the money.
But it makes me want to fuss at Ayn Rand and all these people that think this overt, far out individualism is the right way to go. That people that forget that individual identities require a context. Mm-hmm. Like, there is no human in a vacuum, and so you can't be this asshole individual that just shuns all these other people. And so we've gotten to the point where everybody in American culture, everybody has their own car, me, like this individualistic culture and this very egocentric, self-centered kind of lifestyle that we've created. Or that we make possible anyway, like you were saying. We allow for these mental illness manifestations just because of the isolation that's afforded some people, which is the antithesis of, I don't need to react for me right now, I need to wait and let the community react. And that would be more just. So whatever it is that gets to that ethos seems to work pretty well, I think. I mean, it's anti-Ayn Rand, and I hate that cunt. Felt like saying it. Sorry. That's a long way to go just to get to I hate that cunt, but whatever.
I love...
Kick her in the pussy. Fucking Dave Chappelle's a genius.
God, that was a brilliant bit, wasn't it? And I was so mad that he took me along for the ride, even though I knew he was going to do it. I knew he was going to do it, and I knew 2 lines before he got to it. And I'm like, you son of a bitch, because it's just, and it's also technically a callback, which is it's all brilliant. That's how you do it, man. Inside joke. We'll get into that later. But anyway, no, the idea of these, socially, you interact with everyone, because you want to further information, you want to further communication, you want to further everything. You want to network in this day and age, essentially, right?
Right.
And the problem is, because there are, as you put it, the mental deficiencies in regards to their psychopathic or sociopathic natures, there are people that know how to manipulate it and know what they're doing when they do it, and they can essentially just take advantage of everybody. And if you aren't one of those people that can rationalize doing that, you can recognize it, and all you can do is sit there and go, and stop, listen, man, they're not faith healers, I promise. Like, just don't. Why are you doing that? Stop it. I cannot stand. I just hate it so much, because there's a billboard off. Look.
Wait, hang on.
Right.
Okay. I have to do that every 25 minutes. There's a billboard. Go ahead.
There's a billboard like near my work, and there's a certain miracle faith healing fuck all.
Oh shit!
Place.
This is like real right now. This is here and now.
This is real right now.
This is not Jim Jones.
In this town, city, small city, regular city, whatever.
Ooh, feeling a bit verklempt.
It's down. It's off Palafox in Fairfield. You can find it Palafox, and almost Fairfield. You can find it, and it's this massive complex, this big building. Except they don't hold anything in there. They have tents because they're constantly renovating, apparently. But more importantly, there's a billboard as you split off the spur, and it's the head preacher or snake oil salesman or wolf ticket distributor, whatever you want to call them. I like any of the latter ones. In a nice red, very vibrant, robe, and I guess his cohort also, she has a robe on, and they're holding fucking crutches, like this, like a group, like they went to a store to get like 13 crutches, and he's holding like 6, she's holding like 4 because his arms are bigger, I guess, I don't know, but whatever the math is, a lot of crutches, and it says, fuck all faith bullshit, healers, miracles happen here, and it is, I see it twice a week.
Oh, this is the collection of crutches they have
Yes.
healed people from.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh,
They have
I thought they were
essentially-
at like a medical supply store or some shit.
I wouldn't be mad about that. At least they're selling something. At least they're selling actual things. There's an actual need.
I got it wrong.
There's a need.
I got it wrong.
Yeah, if that was the case, they'd be helping people. Instead, they are taking advantage and essentially just duping people of their money and or time and effort of. Listen. If you believe you can go down to to fucking Brazil and they can pull the animal fat out of your side and cancer's gone, and that's what you need, fine. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you what to believe, but I will say that maybe you should look into other things because I don't think that changed anything. So, watching the wrestling style religion of faith healer bullshit on Sundays. I love wrestling as much as the next motherfucker, but I also know that that's not going to make me any better. So, I know what's real and not real, and I'm not saying that wrestling isn't real. It's totally real. But, if you think wrestling's real, maybe, read something and, think about it, and I don't know, have a little bit more self-awareness of actual things. And these sons of bitches they just take advantage of people every fucking week. And here's the thing. I grew up in the church, a real church, as far as real as churches are, But it was a structure. And they had a whole book that someone edited that they said God wrote however many years before, and we all used that, and those were the stories we heard every Sunday.
So this wasn't a Christian religion. If God actually wrote the Bible, then
well, no, it was a Baptist. I'm saying it was, clearly. Sorry. You're right. It is. Exactly
I hadn't talked in a while.
You hadn't. Yeah,
I hadn't talked in a while.
You give me a room, and I'm gonna go. That's why I never understand the time. Was it 6 hours now? So I understand that, and I respect it, and I don't in any way argue. If you want to, that's your business, man. And a lot of religion helps people. It really does. It gives them faith, and then the faith that they believe in correlates to faith in themselves in a way.
Yeah.
And I respect that, and I'm not sitting here to shit on it.
Faith is valuable.
Faith is valuable. But if you actually are hurt, don't let someone take more advantage of you.
Medicine's valuable too.
Yeah. And I can't stand these pieces of shit sitting there just fucking... Dude, I mean, it's like if I... Oh, God. And I think look, it might also frustrate me that it's just it seems too easy. It's just mean. Like, it just seems mean. Because when you are fucking with, when you're fucking with someone, that's
when
gullible.
you're lying to people.
You know when you're lying to people.
You know when you're being an asshole.
You know when you're being an asshole.
You know when you're being an asshole.
So, what good are you doing right now?
Right.
Oh, well, I'm only asking them for their money they don't need. You sure? Because they seem sick. They might need their money. Nah, they're going to give me their money, and I'm going to make them feel better. For now? Or, in next week when they have to go to the doctor because the tumor's just as big.
Yeah, when you leave town. Or...
Oh, no, but that's the bitch of them. That's the bitch of them, Compton. They put up stakes. They built a compound. They put up a tent next to a building they claim to own.
So they never leave town.
They never leave town. You can hang out all goddamn year. How fucking crazy is that?
Squatters' rights, man. Squatters' rights.
And they have the audacity to put up that fucking horseshit billboard. Miracles happen here. Go fuck yourself.
Where's the FDA on this stuff?
There isn't one. Okay. Because it's religious exempt.
Wait, hang on. So now that FMRT, which is also the name of my mini stroke, has made it okay.
You want a 6 feet under reference there?
No, that's my joke.
Oh, that is your joke.
I
thought you were doing there's the narf thing that he does in that movie. That show.
No, I got the idea from...
you confused me for a second.
I got the idea from Boston Legal, Bill Shatner. His character's name is Denny Crane. And
I remember.
He blames the mad cow. It's the mad cow.
Mm-hmm.
So I blame.
How good is Will Shatner? You used to call him Bill Shatner, like you know him.
Well, no. That's just because in.
I don't want to distract you. We'll talk about him in a second. You go ahead.
Boston
Sorry. You get your point. I don't want to be an asshole.
I
know. That's what I was trying not to do immediately.
What was I saying?
I was talking about those assholes. You were talking about the narf.
Yeah, Mert Mini. So, interestingly, he has signed legislation that allows religious institutions to contribute to political campaigns.
Of course, why not?
So, shouldn't that...
They don't pay taxes, but sure.
But shouldn't that immediately mean that now they fall under the purview... Evangelicals who claim to affect people's health fall under the purview of the Food and Drug Administration?
Nope, not at all. Not at all. That's also why they don't have to pay taxes. You can receive government funding as a religious organization without having to pay taxes for that.
I'm working on the funding part. You can register as a minister, which I am. I'm an ordained minister.
My wife is.
As well, everyone should be, because you can get some tax exemption.
Still counts.
You can write some shit off tax-wise with that.
Yeah, that's bonker sauce.
It's beautiful.
It's not beautiful. It's ridiculous.
Why not?
As an organization, it's ridiculous.
I am an organization.
No. If you're, you know what? See, now I'm on camera like doing favors. No, you know what? Never mind. He's making miracles happen. No, what I'm saying is the actual physical organizations that receive government funding.
Yeah.
Those are dog shit, bullshit, horseshit.
Oh, yeah.
And they don't claim taxes, but they still take government money.
We're talking like Scientology.
And here's the other thing. We're talking about, and we'll get into it, we're talking about daycare centers. We're talking about federal funding for many different areas. They all receive the same funding as any other thing. They can be exempt for licensing, and they pay no taxes. And also, because they're license exempt, they have less critical involvement from the state, because the state doesn't have the same regulations, because they don't have a license with the state. It's almost like this fucking loophole inside a loophole that they still get money, don't pay money, and then don't have to technically really focus on the same bullshit. It's fucking insane.
Need to rewrite all that bullshit.
Yeah, but that would take...
It's gotten too conflated. We need to pull a Norway. Or was it Norway or Iceland that fired everybody? And said,
was it Norway?
Fuck it, we're sending a state rep to redo the whole goddamn thing.
Was it Norway?
They did. I think it was
one
Norway.
It was one of the cold ones.
I think it was
Norway.
Norway.
White, snowy stuff.
I want to say it was Norway.
All right, I believe it.
One viewer on Facebook. I don't know who you are, but thanks for checking in.
I told you, this is not a plan.
We are so glad to have you.
Yeah,
on a Thursday night.
You want to hear me rant for another 40 minutes?
No, hey, most of the people catch this on the replay.
Good. Most people being that one plus the other one?
Right.
Okay.
There are two of them. Because I don't keep a schedule, so nobody knows when to tune in. Like, it could be that's my buddy Wells, and the guys that I saw on my way down here, which would be awesome. They're having Scrabble night, and
I used to be better at Scrabble. I'm terrible at Scrabble now. Okay, I'll take it back. I was never great at Scrabble, but I was competent.
I'm dyslexic, so you don't get extra points for spelling shit backwards.
Do you spell it backwards or do you pronounce it backwards? Do you read it backwards?
Yeah, I read it backwards. It comes in backwards. It doesn't go out backwards.
See,
numbers will go out backwards. Words don't go out backwards.
Oh, wow, okay. Because I've never actually diagnosed. Because you have to pay a doctor to tell you. And I kept going to that faith healing place, and they're like, "You're fine."
Yeah, they're like, "You don't have any crutches. We don't know what to do with you."
And I'm like, "Great." So I walked away, and I'm like, "Fuck you." No,
we can't take your crutch because you don't have.
You crutches. Don't. Yeah, no, it's only emotional crutches. We don't even have. We physically can't even hold those.
We can't heal your. We can't heal your heart wound.
It's actually, you know what? Emotional crutches are something they could pretend to fix, and I wouldn't be as pissed. Because then they don't have to have a tangible goddamn crutch in their billboard that makes me pissed off every goddamn time I go to work. Sons of bitches.
You can't lie about things that X-rays can disprove.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, broken bone. Yeah, well, so you're upset about your dad? Actually, I feel better. Hey, look at this. Give me that emotional crutch in your brain. Pieces of shit. No, I have this. I skip pronouns when I write. I skip I fucking constantly, it's like I write the same type and think of the next sentence faster than I should say it.
Yeah.
And so I jump it, and then when I read things back or try to think back on what I want, I always fucking juxtapose it. I flip it.
I do that shit.
And then it comes out before the word in front of the word I want comes out after the word, or the word after I want comes out before the word. And I don't know if that's what dyslexia technically could be, in the same mentality or the same fucking firing off wrong in the brain. But yeah, I do that constantly, and it's so frustrating. So frustrating.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know what you want to say. That's why my wife, she edits all of my shit, because I can't trust my own brain. Because when you read back shit you wrote, if you thought how you're thinking it, you already fill in the blanks. Because that's how that thing, like your brain already finishes sentences before it reads it anyway.
Right, so you can't edit your own
You can't edit your own shit, because you start seeing the word you thought you wrote, and then I read it back, and I'm like, what the fuck? You give it a day, and you're like, that's not at all. That's not even a word.
Why did I try to
How
say
is that a
that?
sentence? I just threw in random fucking things. Which is also worrisome, because that's how I do all of my premises. I throw in the fucking premises that way. I'll write down a premise thinking gold, and then I read it the next morning, and I'm like, why? How? I don't. Those are just 3 words together. I just wrote 3 words together. Not even a slash. Not even like a description of why my mind thought that would work.
No director's notes.
Nothing. And that's what's so frustrating. Because you so you get like fucked up enough, and you're in that zone, that fucking little hum.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh man, all the things my brain's making right now,
I'm fucking hilarious.
are amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? No one's ever thought that.
Oh God.
And they wake up and he's like, kitty litter Hitler.
Kittler.
Why the
Right?
hell? What else do I... Is it a cat that hates other cats that are different breeds? Like, what the hell?
What is this?
And you got nuts, so then you spend like the first 20 minutes driving to work going, am I okay? Am I all right? Is this all working right? Because clearly I'm just cranking out goddamn nonsense and thinking it's genius. That's got to be a sign of something. And then you smell burnt toast, and then you're all scared, you know? And you're like, oh, I'm just at work.
More coffee.
More coffee. I don't drink coffee. I'm not a coffee guy.
Oh no, I
Drink water.
gave up
beer.
alcohol for the year, and I quit cigarettes, and so caffeine is one of my supplements. I've always been a coffee drinker, but it's one of my last bastions of drugs.
I'm always a depressant shit, man. I'm always calming down. Like that, I can't like I'll do like energy drinks because I'm tired, and in my head that counterbalances the drinking. Yep. So it's kind of like, oh, if I can do that, then I can balance, which is still nuts.
I can just drink more.
Just drink more. Faith in myself. Using monsters.
Exercising my demons.
It's 0 sugar. So I had to wrap that up, but I just drink water, and they counterbalance any kind of, the horrible shape I'm putting my liver and kidneys through the alcohol. But like that I'll. Do you bounce? Do you do the leg hump? Do you do the not the dog thing? Sorry.
Yes.
The leg pump.
Yes. Nervous energy, just like all kinds of
Constant. Is it constant?
I can make myself stop if I think about it, but it happens.
But it'll kick off, right? Just like it's a throttle.
Yeah. Just like, oh, by the way, look what you're doing now.
What is that? What is it?
It's the same thing as the Bading balls or the worry stone. It's,
right. So then
it's a neural interrupt.
Okay.
And so it's something for your brain to focus on. The same way that driving over a long distance can force your brain into this theta realm of meditation, which is your autonomic nervous system takes over all the routine tasks. So your muscle memory is firing, and you end up in the zone, in this flow state, or this ultra meditative state, theta brainwave state, because you are so detached from the physical that your ego doesn't have anything to root to.
I like that. Okay.
So it's the same way that you can drive for 15, 20 miles, and you think back, and you're like, I have no idea how I did not just drive off the fucking road.
Right. It's a focus.
Right. What's actually happening there is you are coming up with some of the most genius things you've ever done. And it's one of the reasons that people want to meditate and get to that state. And it's one of the things I've studied for a really long time, is to be able to observe things from that point of view, because it's this meta perspective, this really, really big picture that allows you to connect really disparate dots and go, because there's no originality under the sun other than The ordering of things, and the connection of things.
Simpsons did it,
Yeah, exactly. So far, so good.
The Simpsons did it. The South Park figured it out. But no, I like the leg itself is essentially the same mentality. It's just throwing out the anxiety to an impulse.
Yeah.
And it's clicking. Yeah. See, do you have anxiety issues?
Oh, you have no idea.
Love that. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, not for you. That sounds crippling, but
it's okay.
I love, but anxiety loves company as much as misery. I don't know if you know that, and anxiety is a big fan of Kathy Bates. So, not all Stephen King's work, but definitely Kathy Bates' performances.
But all that runs back to stress, and then you jump into diet, and you look at inflammation and the way that...
Oh, no, I don't look at any of that. I just keep drinking it until it goes away.
Well, that's okay.
What did you decide to do? Like, make yourself better? Wow.
No.
Jesus, this guy.
The way that it came about for me is...
Diet and that, what?
I used to tell people that if you haven't seen your beard a year long, then you know what kind of man are you, and used to shame people and blah, 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 blah. And then someone kind of helped me point out to myself that since I started drinking, I had not taken a year off, which is 2 decades. It's like, shit, kind of bit the bullet on that one. All right, so I took a year off, and that was 2017, and still haven't had a drink yet this year.
That's commendable.
I don't put myself under any pressure, but I know how much better I feel not being a drinker and making it as long as I did and not dying and doing some of the stupid things that I did.
The constant fighting to stay alive.
Yeah. That and my liver is just very at peace right now. Like, if I am 37, my liver is fucking Lao Tzu. Pickled and mummified and a wise old samurai. Not that Lao Tzu was a samurai, I know better, but, that's what I want to be.
But a storied, understood respect has time to understand what happened.
Yeah, my liver got a lifetime of drinking in those 2 decades.
I have to start doing that myself, because they were all like, hey, your liver's all fatty, and I'm like, which was nice. I actually didn't mind it. When they told me that, because I was like, well, it's nice. That's the first time a doctor told me that I was fat on the inside. Like, normally, it's always like, clearly you see the problem. I'm like, yeah, I know. And they're like, well, and he's like, but it's a little high. And so I was like, go to liver guy. I go to liver guy. Liver guy was just like a guy changing tires. He was just like, all right, okay. So I don't think it's a problem unless it's just drinking. Just stop drinking. Don't drink for 30 days and then just take a test again. And if it goes down, then you're not crazy. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I took that to mean just don't drink. I can drink when I want and then decide to stop for 30 days and then take blood tests again. But in reality, it's just me fighting it's the habitual nature of the addiction that I want to keep focusing on. And so it's like I'm trying to beat it back and I'm working on it. And it's like, stop doing it. You're doing it too much. You don't have to do it. I'm doing it now. And so it's like this, I know I need to focus and be an adult about it. And I commend that kind of dedication. It's always, and I never used to, but it's only because I'm habitual. It's just this level of, you get complacent into it. It's just like, oh, that's the next step. That's what it is. And it's just breaking that habit. And I don't think it's as much dedication to it, because it's not like...
It's the first one, man. For me, it's the first step. Like, the only thing I hate worse than going to bed is getting out of bed. It doesn't matter what it is. I just don't like starting it.
Yeah.
It's a pain in my ass.
Yeah, no, I think my mom or someone, it was like when I was a kid, that's how I was kept this with me. It's like, because when you're a kid and you get in the car to go anywhere, they always tell you put your seatbelt on.
Yeah.
Put your seatbelt on. Put your seatbelt on. Put your seatbelt on. And when I started like driving, and it was just like, just like, listen, you remember, you have to put your seatbelt on. I'm like, yeah, I know that. It's not weird. Don't drive anyone that won't put a seatbelt on. Blah blah blah. And at some point, they addressed. She made this statement. Is like, if you do something for at least 2 weeks, you do 14 consecutive things over and 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 over again, you won't even think about doing it. It'll become a process that you just do. So instinctually, if you just put your seatbelt on every day and know that you're doing it for 2 weeks, that'll form your habit of doing something good. And that also works in the negative way. In the negative way, if it makes you feel good, you do it 3 times in a row and it's yours. Like, you're just like, I'm doing this forever now.
Yeah.
And that's the fucking trouble. It's like snapping that and then not dedicating yourself to it. And I'm working on it now. And I've made, promises like a character in a movie. So I'm gonna have to, focus and do that kind of shit.
Well, and it, like you said, it comes down to choice, and I didn't do it until I decided that that's what I was going to do and needed to do.
And that's what they say about addiction in the first place. You're not going to get people not like it was addiction, like you were on heroin, but like when they like those intervention things.
It was
like,
bad.
You have to know. It's like you have to decide to make the choice. Yeah. Like, you have to. You can't go like, oh, my mom's crying. I wrote a letter about it on TV. I have to go to rehab now.
Right.
It's like, you have to go, all right, I'll go to rehab because I want to. And that's what they always say. And those are foul. I love that shit. I love it. It's always fascinating. I actually play a drinking game to intervention. It's not good. It seems like the opposite idea, but it's a lot of fun, man. Like, you just, because you can always tell what's gonna happen. You just kind of play the dice. You're like, all right, it's either molestation or divorce. What do you got? I'm going with divorce. I'm like, I'm going with molestation, and then however it goes. It's the only two options. So if you watch that show more than once, that's it. Sometimes it's death of child.
First world problems, man.
Yeah,
there are a lot of first world problems in that. Some people have real problems. Don't get
most of them do
wrong. But
yeah, we get to pretend. With that, I used to do a joke. It's not a joke. I don't have any way to work it, so I'll tell it to the world on your thing that no one's watching.
Until now,
we got one. Yeah, talking to the world. I did it a few times, and it's the idea that like this is the parking lot we're in now because we're in a parking lot, and I always didn't get it. I watch documentaries and I love documentaries and I love focusing on the plight of people because it's like if you can learn about people that are actually stronger than you. Maybe you can instill some of that into yourself in some capacity just by their stories. Like, you at least have a story that you can then think of and reference. And not like Jesus and not some goddamn, character or wrestler. Like a person that fucking busted their ass or survived all these atrocities. Mm-hmm. And are standing and take their advice or their perspective. And so that first world problem shit, it's like, yeah, like, I try to do it on stage. It's not a joke, so I can't do it. But it's essentially the fact that just being here, even in this administration, which is, good God, even with the fucking faith healers and their bullshit crutches, just being here, this is good. This is already great. You're doing better than everything else. And it's the way the mentality is, like, almost like, this is Disney World. We're already in Disney World. And the rest of the world is in the parking lot. And they're waiting to get in. They're trying to get in. Or they're trying to regulate this area, the parking lot D, to represent the same idea so that everyone can come together in the same idea that they have, and it's not a problem. And we are already in the gates. We already have. We don't even need a ticket. We don't have to show up and buy a ticket. You have a ticket, and sometimes you have to wait in line for a few minutes, and you don't get what you want. And sometimes you're on the log ride, and sometimes you're in fucking Space Mountain. It's the tits. And sometimes you're walking around with a goddamn turkey leg that's way too big and definitely not a turkey. But you won. Every day is essentially a day in the park. So decide which days you want to actually matter. And decide on which ones that you can help other people realize that same goddamn mentality. Because if you were just sucking it all up and keep riding the same fucking rides and keep fucking eating the same goddamn turkey legs, then you're not doing anything better. You're just producing the same shit and making the same assholes. It's this frustration. It's not a joke, and I could never get it over as a joke. It's just that weird, like, it's what it is, though. Like, sometimes you're on the fucking log ride, man. And it's great. And sometimes you're waiting in line to see Buzz Lightyear. I don't know why. It's, you know what I mean? Like, it's sometimes it's Epcot. And the rest of the fucking parking lot is Epcot. Like, literally, like, that's like, everyone's really trying hard. But you know what? This administration might change it. They're like, you know what? We want Euro Disney back. Like, there's the joke. I just think. Fucking Christ, man.
I was thinking about it earlier, and I'm not happy about the current political climate
I don't know why. It seems like it's going so great, man.
But not for policy reasons at all. Like, I'm just so frustrated with the fact that it's so okay for people to lie to each other now. Because that's the times in my life where I have had real reason to gripe and bitch and be a shitty little whiny crybaby was when I was betrayed. Yeah. Like when someone betrayed my trust. And I feel like there's more reason to be justifiably upset at how dumb the political system has become now than ever before in my life. And it cuts me deep. Like, I get mad at people when they don't see it from my perspective, but I've probably spent lifetimes worth of research more than the common person. I have to remember that.
Well, it's almost atheistic in a sense. Like, it's that if you're an atheist, you're like, you always have a period of time in which you're a dickhead to everyone. Because you argue with them because they don't believe in what you agree with, and you're just mad at what's going on. Politically, this climate is Nixonian. Like, we are essentially just flipping into this late 70s shit. And it's these people that are like, no, progressively, we have to progress further and do things and start these ideas. And then everyone else that opposes that is just trying to pull it in reverse.
So, okay, speaking of pulling in reverse, consider this. Tell me what you think of this idea. I think one of the problems we're having socioculturally in America is that people are living generations, chunks, 20 years, 40 years, 60 years longer than they lived so recently that our culture hasn't figured out how to deal with that. And so we come up with these more elaborate ways to kill ourselves really, really slowly, and yet we stick around to the point that we have 60 and 70-year-old man babies because they're so coddled by what have become decagenarians that their parents are still around. And so there is never being able to stop sucking from the teat of the older generation to some degree. Like, there's never an opportunity to man up because grandpa's still around.
Or
some shit like that.
You don't want to buck it or fight it. And the other idea is also that I think it's just cultural in most cases, as a generation's age, and they structure that same kind of, all right, I was a liberal in college, and I was fighting against the man, all this, and then I met my wife, and then we had a kid, and now I'm in a job for 20 years, and all of a sudden, well, that money problem is different, and that's the thing, and they become more conservative, just instinctually. It just becomes like, I need to protect mine.
Yeah,
I'm not concerned with the world. You know what? I don't need time. I don't waste time listening to the news.
And this is where I say fuck Ayn Rand. She let people think that was a good mentality to have.
I mean, it kind of, but yeah. But in respect or in reference to the idea of, yes, the generation previous, the generation previous to that, it becomes this, you always kind of fall back. You also want to respect the previous generation. I have a very hard time discussing politics. I used to be okay doing politics, or just doing things, and I can't just talk to any of my family because it's it's so polarizing now, and you see if generations do it, then it becomes, it's easier to placate to what they want and capitulate to the same ideas, and also then, you know what, he's making a lot of sense, and he's always known what he's talking about, so clearly this is the better idea, and then that just shifts towards that as well, even though all the fucking ideas aren't helping anyone in that level because they don't give a fuck about them because it's already bullshit.
I think what we need to do is we need to fire Washington, D.C. and we need
that's what we're doing. Trump is going to clean that swamp, buddy.
Right.
That swamp.
By
you remember that swamp?
He means bring his own frogs and gators and swamp critters.
Yeah. But ones that but they have. Listen,
did
you want Killary in there putting her gators in that swamp?
What he meant was he was going to hire Monsanto to genetically engineer a new breed of swamp monster,
and that way they could only have
that only he could control.
Only gators in swamps. It's like then they take all the gators out of swamps and put their gators in.
Sauron is going to make him a ring. It's going to be okay.
Fuck Monsanto, man. God damn it. Corporations are people.
One genetic code to control them all. I'm writing that bit.
That's a good one.
I am writing that bit.
No, that's a good one. No, that's fine.
God damn. One genetic
One
code.
genetic code
to
right
rule
there.
them
That's
all.
it. That is it.
Fuck,
Because that's
where's
what
my-
I want.
Where's my notebook?
Well,
Y'all heard the
get it on
birth of the
tape.
joke.
Don't take it.
That may be Graham. He needs to
That
come.
is
He
Graham.
needs to come join us.
Hey!
We're gonna have a special guest entree. Let's. Which
Yeah.
side can he fit on?
I'm
Good.
kind of loud.
We're cackling maniacs. You gotta get back there in the back. Welcome to Truth, Love, and Peace.
All right. Are you recording?
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
live
yeah,
on
man.
Facebook right now.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Graham Cracker Clarke, welcome
What's
to
up,
Truth,
buddy?
Love, and Peace,
Thank
my
you.
good
Hello,
friend.
it's great to be part of the show.
Yeah. We were, you could hear us way over there, huh? I should be self-concerned or
Nah.
should
Moseley,
care.
That's probably me.
Moseley just has an aggressive laugh.
I haven't. Yeah, I like laughing.
We were making each other laugh. So here's the new joke.
I used to breathe through my nose in athletics. So
We were talking about Trump and politics and all that, and we got to somehow Dobby the house elf is helping Trump get Monsanto in a position where they can come up with one genetic code to rule them all. So that last part is the punchline. I'm gonna figure out how that works. But one genetic code
that's how
to
he
rule
got
them
there.
all.
Yeah.
That's how I got there in my head. So anyway.
I like it.
That's
I like
framed
it.
all right. Yeah, okay,
like
good.
I think you and Wiley Farrar should just tag team that joke.
God damn, I can't imagine where
Just
that
have
would
you
go if Wiley
guys just
did it.
go on a 25-minute
That
rant
would be. I was gonna
about
say.
Trump
that,
and Monsanto.
I couldn't help on that. Or it would be a constitution. It would take 6 days in Congress to pass.
We get
it'd be a Pelosi filibuster.
Get Wiley to do his. How'd that go, by the way?
The same way doesn't matter.
How long did she
Filibusters never matter.
last?
She did 8. I think she did 8.
It's always like, oh, I'm really impressed that they did that. Did anything happen? I mean,
No.
no,
Yeah.
never, no. But like,
It's a tantrum.
it's
Doesn't
cool,
count.
right?
It's cool, right? You know what?
It's a spectacle. Like
It's a
that's-
spectacle.
We might have a
but-
government by the time the comedy show.
But here's the trouble with
See?
it. Here's the trouble with the spectacle part. That then becomes fodder for the opposite party to
course.
then throw. Well, like, I even saw memes like smoked 8 hours on the floor about immigrants. Wouldn't stand for 30 seconds for Americans at the inauguration or at the State of the Union shit.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's like,
Think of how much worse it's going to get now that the ability to manipulate video and audio now. You can create people in fictitious places they never were. Like it's gotten.
Look, if
spooky.
Prince runs or gives an address, I know that no one his camp wouldn't like it. But I think that's what we need.
You know what? Whatever team comes up with holographic Prince and runs him for president, I'd vote for that team.
Yeah.
This close to being a Super Bowl.
Hey man, if all they have is there's a hologram of Prince, whoever came up with that
Hell,
good
you know
enough
what?
to run the goddamn
You know what? I
country.
take it back. You know what? You know what we need?
I'd be okay with
Holograms of actual presidents. How about that?
Teddy Roosevelt.
Let's get Roosevelt in his own bitch. Hey, Lincoln, what do you think? What the fuck is happening right now? Just taking his hat off. He's stomping on his hat.
It'd be
He's like,
like,
you know what? If
shit.
I thought making the union, the same for this long was going to turn into this, I would have said fuck it. I would have said go ahead, South. Jesus Christ.
It'd be.
But he would say it all like JC or something because
Yeah,
he
of
didn't.
course,
He
yeah.
wasn't blasphemous.
I just got done watching the Waldo Black Mirror episode. I don't know if you've seen that, but
I did. I've caught up that far.
I
I'm
can
through
see
season 3.
teams of college grad students as like doctoral projects having to supply information to animatronic Lincoln at Disney for
It's
this
not that far
reenactment
off,
of the Lincoln
I
Douglas
mean-
debate.
Oh.
Modern
And
terminology.
here's what's even more just
I,
frustrating.
for one, welcome our robot overlords.
You know that they're not going to understand that when the code goes through, right? They're going to murder you the same.
I mean, yeah, they're not.
Everyone tries to throw that out
Don't
there.
be
Like,
Gaius
hey, it's all
Baltar.
right.
I guess the robots.
You're getting a medal to the throat the same way. They know how
Did
to
you
kill
see
you.
the Facebook robots who invented their own language?
No, that
Oh,
sounds
yeah,
terrifying.
yeah,
Yeah, like they were
they
talking to
unplugged
each
them.
other and they communicated with each other and they
No,
shut
no,
them
no,
down.
no, no,
they shut
no,
them
no.
down
Because
immediately.
they couldn't figure it out. They
Our
couldn't figure out what they were
stupid
saying.
English is so inefficient.
They enigma'd our own people that designed them? They fucking threw an Enigma machine that we couldn't fucking track. Oh, fuck that. Nope. Shut it down.
We did shut it down.
Did John Connor come back and help us? Because there's not a lot of options at this point. Is that... That's why Schwarzenegger was the governor.
Maybe the robots really do run things,
Son
and
of
that's
a
why
bitch.
that's why Trump is president, because like the robots are so in charge of things.
Oh, and
they're just letting us do things.
Oh my God, you're right.
Let them do whatever
You know
they
what?
want.
The
Let 'em
robots
do what
set
they
up
want.
Russia.
We got it.
The
We got
robots
it.
I
set up
was
Russia.
gonna say,
Yep.
no, not that. No, he's right. The Russians are robots. I figured it. Of course, Putin's a robot.
Of course.
He's so handsome.
course.
He has to be
Clearly
a
a robot.
Look at that chest. That
Have
can't
you
be
seen the way he rides a horse?
majestic.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
and you know
It's
what's crazy?
beautiful.
I shouldn't.
No one should
I
have
don't
ever
know
been
why
exposed
that's
to
a
that.
thing you're
You
trying
know-
to tout.
You know who Putin rides a horse better than? Roy Moore. I'll say it all day. I'll say it all day. You ride a horse like shit, Roy Moore. Come after me. What are you gonna do?
I had totally forgotten that man
probably
existed.
he's allegedly gonna try to have sex with you. Probably.
Oh, I'm
yeah.
far too old
Or
and
do
beardy for
some.
him.
Yeah, and have a
damn.
penis.
Yeah. Well,
Good reference.
That was you
That's
saying.
fucking
Well, I'm not
hilarious.
gonna speculate on that. That's yours.
So have
that's the well is what takes me down.
have you guys heard about Alpha Zero?
No. What is this?
Was
heard
this
about-
a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie
Is
from
that a-
'98?
is that a Mega Man
That was
game?
the '80s. This is.
He did 90s stuff.
These is
He was a
artificial
Street Fighter.
intelligence now. AlphaGo is the latest out of one of. No, different because this was Google. Out of one of the Google DeepMind projects, they built an alpha program to play Go, and it crushed the world Go players.
Yeah.
So what they did was, because that was soul-shattering for people, they decided to see what the framework was really capable of. So they went back in, stripped all the coding down to the basic learning algorithms, and showed it chess. Didn't tell it anything about chess. They showed it chess. Within a day, it was beating the most complicated
I'm out.
AI chess programs. It taught itself chess and beat the most complicated AI chess bots in a day.
Has it beat the top chess players?
Oh,
They're too scared to fight.
Kasparov can't even compete anymore. He
Look.
these are the bots that make Deep Blue look like
This
child's
is
play.
not what.
It's a huge problem.
If the
They
robots
shut it
take
down
over
immediately.
chess, we're gonna lose crazy chess players, which is the best part of chess.
Did you
No, the
not
best part
see
of play-
Bobby
the best
Fischer?
the best part of chess is the documentaries and or movies about the chess players. I could give a fuck watching them play chess.
I heard
I don't
listening
know,
to
man,
Gary
it's like-
Kasparov talk about how his brain's fucked after losing to a computer. It's rather
The
fascinating.
what's his guy? The one they made the movie about with Tobey Maguire? I could probably watch that guy talk for 2 hours about how the Jews are taking over, and it's like I just wanted to watch you play chess, but just keep talking.
Bobby Fischer.
Bobby Fischer, yeah, Bobby Fischer.
He was nuts.
Lost his mind.
Yeah, he went nutters.
Well, that's why they were
He
searching
beautiful
for him.
mind hard.
yeah.
Yes, he lost it.
I don't know. Did he try and drown his baby?
I hope so,
Well,
because if not, you're just throwing out
I don't
wild allegations.
He had, I think he had a couple.
I mean, I don't hope so.
a
That
couple
sounded weird when I
illegitimate
said it.
children, So
It was close.
That's not
so
what I
I
meant.
don't think I can't say that he did.
He beautiful minded, not John Nashed.
Not John Nash.
There you go.
Okay. He didn't beat Jennifer Connelly in the face because that's that's awful. I mean, for both levels.
few-
Nobody
One,
realized how
go punch
appropriate
Jennifer Connelly
Russell
in the
Crowe
face
was
and
for
then-
that role until
People
well
who
after it
who
came
have,
out.
heard Jennifer Connelly lived to tell the tale.
Dare you punch Jennifer Connelly? She's a treasure.
I don't know why, but that just reminded me. Had a visual of Stanley Kubrick harassing what's that poor lady's name that played Olive.
Baby,
in
for
The Shining.
Shirley.
Yeah. I heard he tortured
I watched
her.
Yeah, Stanley Kubrick.
I watched The
absolutely
Shining
gave
this
that woman
weekend.
PTSD.
I watched this weekend. Shelley Long.
Shelley Long.
He should
thank you.
absolutely
No, wait. Shelley.
feel complicit
Yeah.
for it, and so should his relatives.
Yeah.
I mean that
No, wait.
with
Shelley
all
Long's the
sincerity.
other one.
I love
She's
the movies.
Shelley.
Yeah, but that poor woman was
Stanley
wrecked.
Kubrick is a horrible monster for what he did.
We were talking
Hold on.
about him earlier.
Hold on.
Horrible monster for what he did.
Hold on.
No. Well,
No, I'll say it. Horrible
It's not
monster.
Shelley Long. Is that her?
It's
No.
Shelley
Like-
Duvall.
Duvall.
Quentin,
Fuck, I
what
knew it.
did Uma Thurman
Quentin
said? Quentin Tarantino
He killed her in a car crash. Yeah.
and he came out and said it was one of the worst decisions of his life.
It did. Like,
I wonder if Kubrick would be
I agree
regretful
with his
at all.
decision. I don't.
Well,
I don't
fucking-
agree with Tarantino. He talked about it.
I don't
He talked
know.
about-
Catch
he
me
had
up.
A, he had
Catch
a
me up.
straightaway. So they were going to do a scene. It was going to be an easy one. Go 40 miles down the road, and it was a straightaway.
Yeah.
So Quentin Tarantino did it himself. He did it on one side, and it was straight. It looked like the same way both sides, and so he did it. It was fine, and she was feeling a little weary about it. And apparently, a stunt driver had told her the car had been switched from a standard to an automatic, and so she was a little sketchy about it. And he tried it. He said it was fine, but what he did was he did it the opposite way. And apparently, going the opposite way, it swerves around, and so she wasn't prepared for that and swerved, and then the car spun out. and it had like a big heavy camera on the back. It wasn't safe to drive. So
it could have flipped.
It could have flipped. She could have died.
Yeah,
in multiple ways. It was a very, very, very unsafe.
It was a violent.
And
effort.
she tried to get footage of it to fucking show to doctors or see what happened. And apparently Harvey Weinstein held it back and wouldn't let her see it.
Oh, and so that gets all shady and nasty.
And then Quentin Tarantino, I don't think fought enough for it at the time. He did eventually find the footage though.
I'll tell you this. Look,
thank you for recapping that. I had not heard the whole story.
Yeah. Well, Hitchcock was a prick too.
Hitchcock was a monster.
Brutal.
But then again, it's art. Like, at what point are you cutting your own ear off or cutting somebody else's ear off?
Seriously, the Kubrick thing. I finally,
artists are crazy. We are.
It's about treatment of people. It's about treatment of people.
Well, and that's the thing. You can enjoy things, but you can't, separate the person. You have to acknowledge.
Oh yeah, putting people in bad situations is fucking horrible. Don't do that.
I think the thing we don't over romanticize. So it's easy to put Kubrick at face value, and I love Kubrick. I love all of his films, but Kubrick absolutely was like a manic person, and like Shelley Duvall's mind is gone. She is suffering through major issues, and I don't think it would be out of the ordinary to say that because of the way she was treated, might have exacaminated some of it.
I could have exacerbated some of it.
I'm sure it did.
But let me say this, and I'm going to say this.
You can't say that it didn't. She had brain damage.
I'm going to say this as someone that's seen the film. If I'm just coming out without any other information about the setup of the environment or the meticulous nature, because it's also a crazy bonkers film that didn't get over well.
Yeah,
which is weird.
It was Kill Bill was the film, right?
No. Well, we're talking about Shining now.
Oh, back to The Shining. Okay.
Yeah, Shelley Duvall.
Oh yeah, Shelley.
She's terrible in that movie.
Well, that's probably because she had PTSD the whole time. I got to agree with Graham on that one.
Shelley Duvall's a great actress.
I'm not saying
hold on. Because I don't.
Hold on.
I love that we're seriously discussing this.
I watched Shining like 4 times last weekend. Just no joke.
Last weekend?
Last weekend, no shit.
Oh shit!
I went and bought it on Blu-ray. This you brought it up, blew my mind.
I agree with you.
She is not good in that.
Yeah.
And
that's why I remembered it to begin with.
And you don't run with a knife like this. Anyway, I'm not. She has no idea how to swing a bat. It's all bonkers.
You know who was great in the movie? The kid.
The kid.
Oh, the kid's phenomenal.
They treated the kid.
The kid is
wonderfully.
incredible.
They treated the kid amazingly. They gave him dinner. They treated him like the best thing in the world. Amazingly. If you have a good time on set,
listen,
you're gonna have.
I'm going to say something right now. I want to say something right now. I'm not defending any kind of artistic frustration or torture to any other artist to produce your vision. And Kubrick was, if anything, a very focused filmmaker and what he exactly wanted to see and wanted.
He was a genius.
He was a genius
but
in a lot of ways.
Doesn't excuse you from being an asshole.
Your actions are your actions.
Asshole.
Yeah. Your ass are an asshole.
He was a Frank Gallagher.
That's fine. But at the same time, if at some point he's like, I need to get more out of you, let's terrify the shit out of her, let's make her scared of birds, so then she's really scared of birds on camera.
Right. Well, and that's...
I'm not defending the emotional stress that is not warranted or necessary, but that kind of this is not going at all, but we're already up here, let's finish filming. But fuck it. How can I crank this up to 12?
I get that.
It's not cool. I don't know, I'm defending that, but even then, it's not a good performance.
Well, kudos for going after what you want, but shame on you for doing it at the expense of some poor lady's mental health.
But here's the thing. Women weren't real until last year. You know about that, right? Their emotions. Here, until last year, all you had to get was chocolate or flowers. That's all they wanted.
Somebody was talking
now,
about...
Jesus Christ!
If you go back and watch movies in the 50s, how often and okay it was for men to hit women, and it's fucking shameful.
Calm down!
Oh my god!
You're hysterical. 50s, you can go 70s. All those fucking all the Texas Lightning, Urban Cowboy, it's just beating the piss out of ladies.
Superfly.
Yeah, but come on, it's a good
no
soundtrack.
Wonder.
At least the soundtrack justifies that one. Urban Cowboy has nothing but bull riding, and it's not even a real bull. It's mechanical. You're like, what the hell are we doing here, Deborah?
You're right. You really don't have to go back that far.
No, you don't. I'm telling you. What's today?
Ferocious.
Women weren't real until
yesterday.
Just now. So it's all right. I mean, it's not all right, but it's that's what it was.
20 minutes after a really uplifting
article,
and then then we go back to them not being people again.
And fucking hey, dude, that's history. It's fucking stupid and awful. And then that's that line of art. It's you draw the line between what the art that they produce and the person that's producing it.
Yeah.
And so you have to go, all right, total piece of shit, horrible person. Got it. Okay, so you were trying to get her to be scared, and that's the best way she could swing a bat? Okay, alright, well. Alright, fine, I guess. You're doing fine. Don't
keep talking.
I mean, you look at fucking Hitchcock and the Birds. Like, he fucking terrorized that woman.
Yeah, exactly.
Terrorized
he treats them terrible. I think maybe it was because of the time. I feel like a lot of the acting at that time was just yelling. And
well, you also look at that shift from like stage acting to where it's like you're projecting.
Yeah.
So it's just about
it was
projection
kind of
and that kind of, oh, we're the same as in front of an audience that's in a crowd.
Because like I feel like a lot of it, people were just maybe better actors.
They were.
Yeah,
they
that's
were.
true.
They were completely. And it wasn't based on their emotions because you didn't have to read your emotions as well. You just had to physically convey the information in the words.
Well, what about this phenomenon where we teach people how to pretend to convey an emotion as opposed to teaching them how to emote? Like, I've never been to an acting class, so I don't know what's going on there.
Well,
but I
you
feel
totally
like
do it.
there's
It's
a
fun.
whole lot of
a
over-processed
lot of
bullshit.
acting is because you're not. You're acting as the person, but as kind of a version of the person.
Like, I went to
Well,
a Dale
like-
Carnegie class, and the whole thing was... And Dale Carnegie's this big, renowned customer service experiential thing. The first day, I get into...
seminar shit.
Yes. I get into this confrontation with this guy who talks about how Dale Carnegie is the first person to public speaking and blah, 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 and I was like... fuck you. Cicero, Aristotle, and Plato all have a problem with everything you just said. We did not get
This
along.
might have come up
right
400,000 years ago.
We did not get along, and the whole time I was
Back
just
when
like,
the
why
rich
don't you
people
just
hoarded language,
right? Like,
all
why
we
don't you
did
just
was talk.
teach people to be nice instead of pretending to be nice, and like, don't teach people a trick to learn somebody's name and get them invested in something. So I'm not a big fan of that nonsense.
Well,
I
I think being interpersonal, just doesn't work on the stage or doesn't work in film. So it's always an exaggeration. You always have to make this version of something that's a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
But comedy is that too.
Comedy's that too. Like, we're on stage. We're not ourselves. We're like, you could go on stage and tell a story how it happened. Of
course.
But then you're going to tell it again. It's like, it'd be a little punchier if I do this. If I put the middle and the end.
the performance aspect of it.
Yeah,
have to do it.
It doesn't
So-
have to be honest.
Yeah.
It has to be performance.
Yeah.
You
You lose
and-
the story, but the message is still there. So
And-
like acting is that. But the message is definitely still there.
I tell you, I took a musical theater class in college or high school because I went from football to musical theater because I was a man, and football panned out great.
Yeah, I heard about your
so-
Heisman and fucking.
Yeah, it was a high school Heisman. That's when they give you a fake joke gift because you're the worst.
AKA participation.
I'm like,
trick.
hey, look at you. They didn't even give me one of those. I didn't even get a shirt. They were like, you're done? I'm like, yeah, I'm done. I'm like, yeah, we knew.
The purple ribbon, it wasn't even like blue or red.
I quit football out of my decisions. Anyway, but I got into musical theater, and it was probably one of the best things. Like, honestly, team sports are pivotal. I think team sports are very important as a child in a lot of ways because it teaches you to work towards a goal with people.
Yeah.
And gives you this kind of this structure of
Tribalism,
it's not about
communalism.
me. Yes, same we're talking about.
Earlier, yeah.
It's not about me. It's about us, and we are working together for this. And yes, I receive something out of it, but it's not just about my goal individually.
Fuck Ayn Rand.
And so my
That's
goal,
right.
yeah, pretty much same. Yeah, I guess that's the theme today, because that's one of the reasons my stuff I was did. I played baseball, football, fucking hockey, all that shit. We're always on teams, and it was kind of to build that kind of self awareness. It was so in college, in high school, it's like play football first because you got to play football.
Right.
All right, fuck it, I'm terrible at football. I'm just a big fucking guy in the way. Okay, cool, whatever. And then it's like, all right, you did that. I'm like, yeah, I did that. Now I'm going to artistically go into fucking acting. I'm going to start singing songs like a weirdo. Could not sing for shit. But going to that same mentality, because a play is no different than a team working for the same goal. So basically stripping yourself down from all your insecurities and you saying that I look stupid. Yeah, you look stupid, but everyone else looks stupid too, man. That's no different than us all looking like fucking gladiators and, just fucking big-ass dickheads. So you work on that. It's the most rewarding thing I did in high school. And it's why I can do this now, even though it took me 10 years later to figure that shit out. And, you should have... Oh, it's so much fun. It's just so much fun to be a part of a play and a performance.
Dude,
it's
show
just so
choirs.
cool.
I still have my blue sequin vest, bitches.
Ah!
Fuck yeah, I got some jazz hands for you.
See, that's that
Magic
performance,
fingers.
right? It's empowering.
We did a what was it? Some reindeer thing. It wasn't
Reindeer
Rudolph.
games, yeah.
No.
Were you Gary Sinise,
Redneck
or were
reindeer.
you?
I can't remember.
De Niro.
Oh,
Yeah.
were you Charlize Theron?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
She
only
was
guy in a
better
skirt.
than Shelley Duvall. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, well, I mean, of course.
She could swing a knife.
Oh man.
What is this? She runs like this for an hour and a half in that movie.
Do we have viewers? Are we?
No, we don't have any.
No,
viewers.
there's not been. No.
We've been talking.
I made sure to tell him I was on it.
We've been talking for 80 minutes. Like, there's no one on Facebook paying attention for 80 minutes.
This shit's thrilling.
No one pays attention that long on Facebook.
He asked into the car, okay?
No, this...
You knew what he was getting into.
The MP3 gets recorded and goes to SoundCloud and gets replayed and all that good stuff.
Gotcha.
And the audio and video
Well, there we go.
goes to YouTube. So
There we
mostly
go. There we go. I finally got on your podcast.
There you go. Well, now you've got to come on like by yourself at some point.
Yes, of course. Yeah, just
Because
just
now-
say when.
If he doesn't have
Right
a
now.
chance, if he doesn't have a chance to crash your podcast, it wouldn't be fair. So things have to be right with the universe. Where Moseley gets to
Oh, that was hilarious. That was.
crash.
I have no concern
Podcast.
about crashing things.
Did you
man.
see?
I
You
love
shouldn't.
Did you
influence.
see
I love influence.
old Norm on Middle of Greatness?
No, I missed it. We actually did the podcast
I
last
missed
night. We
that.
didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
He didn't mention it.
Well, I had to go to town
Wait.
for a funeral, and I'm the host of
Bring
the
it
Middle of
down,
Greatness. And so Joey, of course, had to take the opportunity to trash my name. I think he called me Crooked Graham.
It's his favorite thing. It's so good. I love that choice.
It's very good. Very happy to be the host of the show.
So what all do you guys have going on over there while we're plugging stuff?
Middle of Greatness, it's kind of us. The basic idea is we are, everyone's great. And so, you're not looking for greatness. You're currently in the middle of it.
We'll back up a little bit. NCG Studios.
NCG
You
Studios.
and Joey Livingston.
Joey Livingston, for a while back, on NCG Studios, had a show called The Beginnings of Greatness, and it really was, the idea of just, achieve, enjoying life, achieving things. How do you perceive life? Kind of a, waxing philosophical show, and then that kind of morphed into The Middle of Greatness, which has featured a lot of comedians here in Pensacola. It's been an outlet for most every one of us has been on the show, and we have fun with it, and it's a fun, loosely improv show to do. And lately, we're kind of tooling around with it, and I'm now the host of the show, and so me
With
and
Joey on set.
with Joey. Joey is the assistant to the guest
Yes.
host. So everyone who comes on the show is the guest host. So I'm the host, Joey is the assistant to the guest host, and then we will have a guest host. It's a little weird, but it's fun.
And it's what, 5 on Sundays?
It's around like 6 on Sunday.
6.
Yes.
And y'all live stream to YouTube.
We
NCG Studios
we're
is a
currently in the
YouTube
process. It's a YouTube channel. We're in the process of getting live streaming back. It came down, but it's popping back up. So we're having to process things, and it's going up. But probably by the time you listen to this, it might be up again.
I hope so.
And we're in the process of working on making a podcast version of The Middle of Greatness.
Hey,
so
yeah.
we'll be doing much like this, syndicating
Sweet!
this.
That sounds fun.
And my plan is, hopefully try to get folks from The Middle of Greatness and try to get them to talk later or after the show or somewhere else. We can kind of expand on things. Because that's the problem, if anyone's ever listened to The Middle of Greatness, is that you get to the end of the show and then you want to keep talking.
it's only so much time,
Shit,
yeah.
we got to go. So, I would love to get probably a similar rig to what you have, and then we could pop somebody in a car, we'll drive around or talk, or we'll get some food and sit and just talk the idea later, and then we can pop it all together in post.
Hell
That's
yeah.
my goal.
You guys do that whole production thing. I
They
don't
have
do
a-
any of that crap.
They have
It's a
that-
legit fucking
Oh, yeah, I've
studio.
seen it. It's great.
No, yeah,
I've
you've
been
been,
there.
you've
I've
been
been
there.
there.
When I
Yeah,
was,
it's awesome.
we've been on set together.
Like, the folks at NCG Studios have a
They're
really
so
impressive
cool.
setup.
Jack,
Really smart guy.
and Rick,
And Dr. Jones.
and
That whole goddamn
Monica
production room is
and-
legit, man. That is.
It's an
I was
intense...
talking about TV production earlier. That is
TV production.
That is. It is.
they're good.
And they got the old style shit. They don't
They-
use them,
they-
but they
they-
still have the history of it. It's so fucking
They
cool.
have
I
the
just
old stuff,
suck
and
at
then they have,
editing.
like digital
Yeah, so
transfers.
cool.
Editing, once you get into editing, it's fine. It's like you just kind of pop into the rhythm of it. You ever do an office job, or you kind of
Well, no.
do the monotonous work?
As an audio
Editing-
engineer, I've done post-production stuff.
you've
It's
done-
just
Yeah, you got it.
so time-consuming that
Oh,
I would
it's
rather
very
play StarCraft.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
just me.
No one. Oh shit, we have one viewer. No one wants to edit, but you edit, and I think you just fall into it, and
Yep.
and being part of the edit means you kind of shape it. Like, you
Yeah.
can have
Sure,
an
yeah,
idea.
for sure.
And if you hand the editing over, it's like, I want this and this and this. And so the person who edits now is kind of responsible for how the final product comes out. And so that's why I like it. Like, I know how it's going to come out. No one's taking my words or my ideas and shaping it in a way that seems more friendly to the general public.
That's what my fake degree is in.
Same.
Fuck yeah.
Same. Hey. Production.
Production.
So I don't have.
That's why I am a loan officer.
That's why I'm in childcare somewhere.
Yeah.
And I don't have a degree in that, which is why I don't edit anything.
Yeah.
Everything goes up.
That's why this is 97 minutes long.
And it'll show up 97 minutes long when we're done. I'm not gonna edit a lick of it.
Are you gonna put in the? All right, everybody. This is
Nope.
Matt's on this one.
I don't.
Just expect what you'd expect.
Because
I could.
I'm probably gonna end up doing that for the thing.
Oh, really?
All right, everybody. You're watching the movie.
You gonna
Oh. Yeah.
Gonna pop on the NPR voice.
All right, I guess we're over.
You know, today I'm gonna be my Phil Thomas Cat voice.
Oh fuck, man! I miss UZ so much.
There's a documentary about Phil Thomas Cat coming out.
No, there's not.
Yes, there is.
No, there's
Yeah,
not.
there is.
Is Tommy Rabinetti in it?
I
He
hope
better
so.
be.
I
And
hope-
so should Ryan's on
and so
9
should
Mile.
fucking Mark
For-
Gormley.
People,
No.
For people that don't live here in Pensacola,
There is, yeah.
Blab TV, catch them up.
It's
It was the greatest fucking thing.
it was this collection. It was on.
They still have a YouTube channel.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
do,
it was
but it's only
Blab
on
T-
it's only on
Blab
YouTube
TV.
now.
There was this channel, the Uncharted Zone.
Yep.
And they just blocked hours of programming. It was
My
hosted-
friend Kat Rhodes,
hosted by a
shout out
couple
to her.
folks.
She's on
Kat
Blab
Rhodes.
TV now.
There we go.
Fuck yeah, there you go. It
And-
was Saturday at 11.
Yeah, and then probably some other awful time.
Yeah, they would replay it on Fridays afternoon. We used to record them.
And then, yeah,
It was like a local access TRL in a sense. Like there was a chart, and and they would
but
have.
they're off the charts because they're Uncharted.
Is this what you're up to, Kat? Is this what's going on over there?
Oh
I'm gonna
god,
come
they're
talk
not
to you
anymore,
about
man.
this.
I actually ran into Tommy Rabinetti at a gas station.
No, I think Uncharted Zone is
It's been
it is a collection of music videos at this point.
At this point, it's just the history
but
of
they
it.
would-
Because they were. It was a production house. They would
they'd
film them.
they
They'd
would
send out the
make-
band. They'd send out the.
They had a garage of sorts with painted green. And they would record people just doing their music and hey, give us blah blah blah, we'll make a music video, we'll put it on TV. And that was their thing, and that's cool. But some of them were they not great. They were
beautiful.
There was this one gentleman who outside of Uncharted Zone got his own fame.
Yep, through the internet.
Mr. Mark Gormley. He was this nice man, looks like a school gym teacher with a mustache and a polo shirt, singing this song that he recorded in the 70s.
Yeah. He just basically they allowed him to do it again, and it became a internet sensation.
It was
Little Wings.
nice.
Look it up.
Little Wings.
It is awesome.
Without You is my personal favorite.
Oh yeah, he did through it. Oh, they would, and it's the thing.
But Without You, there was the video. He was walking through
yes.
background
Oh
of
my God, it was so
cities, walking through a background of different places, and then he's
missed
on
that
the
show.
moon, and there's a
He's on the
space
moon.
station. It's they had all their stock footage.
Imagine if Adult Swim was written by people who believed in themselves. That's what it felt like.
There's such a sense of earnestness,
and it is, and that's why it's not laughing at them. They're great.
No,
they are ballsy and they're confident and they actually their ability is whatever it is, but their effort it's open mic style shit. It's so fucking fuck yeah. And sometimes they would film open mics. Sometimes it would just be people in a bar hey, come film our band.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. Sometimes it wouldn't be good. It would just the audio was fucked. It was bad. But they would do it, and they'd be like, "All right, we'll cut that with studio footage." And so they'd just be pretending, and they'd be that's for this joke for the moon. They'd be on the moon singing. But it was it was local. It was produced by the same RT whatever. It was all Cat. It was all Phil Thomas Cat.
Yeah, Phil Thomas Cat.
And they basically would just cut to videos like they were DJs on MTV for an hour. It was the greatest hour on television.
I'm eagerly
It's
awaiting this documentary. I'm sure it's going to be they're going to treat it like they're the Big Brother magazine of Pensacola. We were really subversive. We were really changing boulders back in
God,
the
it was
early
so much
knots.
fun. Oh, I missed
Early
that.
2000s, Barack Obama wasn't president
Fuck
yet.
boss, man. That was good shit. Oh,
We were
man.
changing the
It's
world.
It's like Blue Lights.
Weird
Lights is
Al!
now-
Weird Al was Mark Gormley on the television.
No, Mark Gormley was a folk artist, all right? He didn't parody a goddamn thing. That was all his original material about loss and love. and about
And being
wings.
without
Glasses, you're like, no one was like, you know, no one. No, go with it. You're fine.
I've been
No
on
one-
their
there's no
YouTube
wardrobe.
channel. I've seen some of their stuff. I know some of their people, and I have never seen Mark Gormley.
Find
I
it,
feel
get it.
so
Oh,
left
there
out.
you
right
go.
now.
You know what?
I've
Actually,
gotta
it's
go
all
find
up
this.
there. I've watched.
I
it.
hope
gotta go
you
find
can't
this.
find it because his lawyers made him take it down because he got signed a deal with someone. That's what I want. I want to
Hopefully.
hope that you can't find it online because he's making money in L.A. right now.
Hell yeah, Mark
'Cause-
Gormley. Mark
Or in the
Gormley.
past,
Mark
maybe he
Gormley.
found a time machine.
Gormley.
Mark Gormley, god damn it, he was a superstar.
to look into that.
Are we doing? Right, we gotta
Yeah,
do
we gotta
comedy
go
soon.
do open mic.
Is it
Do
already
we?
3?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
10.
past
So
9:30.
yeah, I
It's
guess
10 o'clock?
I already told him we're doing it at 9:30. All right, so we're doing. All right, yeah, no one's in there. We watch everyone come in. You're the only guy, so we're all fine. I'll
Get all the plugs in.
Yeah, got the plugs in. So.
I have the Feminism and Beards tour coming up in February.
Ooh, that you
Fun.
were in.
Me and Bryn Mack. I can actually tell you all of the places
Somehow I could tell exactly that was you guys. I was
we're
like, that
gonna
sounds
be.
right.
Okay, before
so-
you list them all off, is there a place we can go and get those dates?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook on facebook.com, Graham Cracker Clarke. Add me on there, Bryn Mack. You can find us. I'll send it all out and post out the posters. You can find it all there. But we will be here in Pensacola on February 16th at the Back Porch Bar and Grill.
Oh, it's
Excellent.
2 weeks.
It's 2 weeks.
And
Hell yeah.
what's the name of the tour again?
It's Feminism and Beards.
Awesome. And so here
Does
in
she have a beard
Pensacola,
too, or is it just your beard?
Where
it's
else?
my beard and both of our feminism.
where else in the area,
it's
and how
feminism
long
and
is
a
the tour
beard.
running?
It is going through February 16th through March 3rd.
There you go.
Fuck yeah,
So
man.
we're going.
Where are you guys going?
We're going to Pensacola, Auburn, Tallahassee, Chattanooga, Mobile,
Chattanooga.
and Montgomery. Just Montgomery just added that to the tour.
Nice.
That's great. So how many
I'm gonna
weeks
check into
is
That'd
that?
be fucking fun.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be
How
fun.
many
I'm gonna
weeks is
take
that?
notes.
It's about a week and then a couple shows on
Scattered.
some weekend days.
Hell yeah, boy.
That's awesome. That's
fucking
awesome.
So we got a great poster designed by Abby Basilla on Facebook. You can find her.
Well, congratulations, man, because I'm looking to do some of that myself. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be paying close
Just
attention.
do it, yeah. That's gonna be it. Just go.
Yeah.
Hit some rooms. Make
And,
some names.
That's
And
a
we
little more fun.
have to talk about one of the things we didn't get to today was your version of making a documentary and going on a tour like that, which I have not forgotten about.
Yeah.
And, and
yeah.
we will talk about next time.
Oh, we talking about the Mitch Hedberg one?
Yeah. That's
Yes.
the ultimate dream. Yeah.
So what?
We can still. I'll go into it if we need to, but I don't want anyone to steal it. I have it.
Right. We'll
down.
save the details for
But
later.
also, you can't find the dates, so fuck
yeah.
you.
Fuck you.
Fucking put that in a new
until
text
then.
document on a fucking Windows 95.
Listen here. I got it. I got the inside track. You steal from Moseley? You're dead. You're dead. You know that speed bump on Airport Boulevard? That's the last person who fucked with Matt Moseley. Matthew Moseley runs this shit.
I was gonna say there was a lot of construction after we started doing the show. Anyway,
Vince Lombardi,
Yeah.
50-yard line,
he knows what it is.
fucking union boss.
No, but yeah, we can totally get into that. That's the dream project. That's everything, and also tours are just the best. It's the more fun than that. And I went on tour with one of the co-hosts of the podcast that I perform on,
Norm de
Norm de
Plume.
Plume, along with Chris Fowler and Tony Barquette, most polished guy on the coast, and we had a great time. 2 years. Well, that's about a year and a half now. Fuck, dude.
Are you
That's
doing
so
another one
long
of
ago.
those, right?
We were trying, yeah, and then he's Norm's switching over. He got a new gig in Tallahassee, so
He's moving to Tallahassee?
No. He's just driving to Tallahassee. He's gonna spend weekends off, weekends here,
All right.
or whatever the fuck it is. They're not moving. So their lives are fascinating. I don't know what they're doing, but
You could give them their own podcast.
yeah, just for every day. Just him talking about his life would be an entire goddamn series.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, like hardcore history.
it sure would be.
I almost got done with 6 hours of Celtic genocide. Like it's one of the longest experiences of my life.
That
It's
sounds
intense.
intense.
Anyway,
All right.
side note,
No, anyway,
hardcore
yeah.
history.
We
Moving
did
on.
we did the tour last August or August 4 last, which was great, and we went up the Northeast there. But yeah, we do the podcast Comics Talk Comics with myself, Norm de Plume, and Daniel Brown. I should say they do it, and I'm on it because I contribute nothing but dick jokes. But it's a fun and also
Comics Talk Comics. Find
Comics
it
Talk
everywhere
Comics.
you can find podcasts.
I will be featured on Norm de Plume's forthcoming podcast, Transmissions from the Wasteland.
Oh, yes.
Which we are still writing some bits for and getting out together. That should be coming out soon.
Sounds fun.
You can see me at the bowling alley next to the airport in Pensacola every Thursday an hour ago.
Don't tell anybody.
Don't
That's
tell
a
anybody
secret
it's
open
actually here.
mic.
Yeah,
secret
it's
open mic.
all for that. We've been doing that 7 years. I don't have a Twitter. I mean, I do, but I don't know what it's called. And you can find me as a comedian on Facebook, comedian Matt Moseley with 2 E's, not in a row. And there's an L in between.
ELELY.
And
Moese.
yeah, I don't really promote a lot. I don't like self promotion. It bothers me, so I don't really get out and do it. But yeah,
Okay, Silas.
find me.
Fine. Put your self-flagellation aside.
No, yeah, I don't.
And you can find me on
stuff.
Twitter at Cracker Clarke. You can find me on
List 'em off.
Instagram as Instagram Cracker, and Facebook at Cracker Comedy, I believe is what it's called. Graham Cracker Clarke. Just look for me. I'm amazing. I have some stickers. I have some T-shirts. I'll have everything. I'll have everything that Matt does.
See, I don't do that stuff. I just
There you go.
bring a big mallet on stage and smash a watermelon.
Yeah. Well, it's
And that conveys
Thank God.
statement on
that
consumerism.
conveys
I got you.
everything I need to convey about myself, and you can take part of that home with you. You don't have to look for me. So, some people, have different ideas. So whatever.
I guess we should go tell jokes.
Yeah, at least tell them
Thanks
we're
for
telling
joining us.
jokes tonight.